Nothing is cuter than a crocheted ghost for Halloween, but this one even lets you put some candy and even a little gift in it. Hi guys, it's Katie from Yarn Society, and today we're going to crochet our little ghost gift buddy. This little guy is big enough to fit a gift card or just pop in some candy. We're going to go ahead and crochet this guy together. If you want the free pattern, you can grab that at yarnsociety.com. So let's go through the supplies and then we'll get started. To get started, we're going to grab our yarn and our hook, and we are going to start round 1 with 6 single crochet into a magic circle. So with this Chenille yarn, I do my magic circle a little bit different, and I will link that down below if you want to check it out. But the one thing I do is I'll make about 3 single crochet, and then I'll tighten up the middle, and then I'll usually add about 1 or 2 more stitches, tighten it again, and then add in my last stitch. This just makes it a lot easier to close up that middle, because if I wait, it gets really tough to kind of tighten that up. I would like to know how you guys do your magic circle for Chenille. If you could let me know in the comments below what your tricks are, because I do find the magic circle to be a little bit tricky with the Chenille yarn. Okay, I'm going to place a stitch marker. I like to place mine on the last stitch of the round, but feel free to place it on the first. We are ending round 1 with 6 stitches. I'm just going to count here. For round 2, we are going to make a single crochet increase in each stitch around. So we are going to place 2 single crochet into the same stitch. I'm going to get my hook underneath that first stitch. I'm going to make a single crochet. I'm going to place my hook under the same stitch and make another single crochet. Move over, we're going to make another single crochet increase. So this is 1, go back to the same stitch, and 2. Move over, this is our 3rd stitch. Make 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And then move over for another single crochet increase. Here's 1 and 2. Move over, this is our 5th stitch. 2 single crochet. And then here is our last stitch. I'll be working in the stitch with my stitch marker since I place it on the last stitch. At the end of round 2, we have 12 stitches. You can go ahead and try to tighten that up again, but because the Chenille yarn kind of loosens up, it's a bit tough at this point to close it up. If you do have a bit of a hole, do not worry about it. This is the inside of the ghost. At the end of round 2, we have 12 stitches. For round 3, we are going to make a single crochet increase in the first stitch, and then a single crochet into the next. We'll repeat this sequence all the way around. Place your hook under the first stitch, and we will make a single crochet increase. That's 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Move over for a single crochet. Then we're going to move over for an increase. Here's single crochet 1. Back to the same stitch, single crochet 2. Then we're going to move over for a single crochet. We're going to repeat the sequence. Here's an increase, single crochet increase. Move over for a single crochet. Then we have another increase. I'm going to be calling this single crochet increase just an increase. And then we'll move over for a single crochet. We have another increase. Move over for a single crochet. And then our last increase. Move over for a single crochet. I'm going to change my stitch marker. At the end of round 3, I have 18 stitches. For round 4, we have an increase in our first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Here is our first increase, 2 single crochet into the same stitch. And then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 single crochet, move over for another single crochet. We're going to repeat the sequence so we have an increase, And then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, single crochet 2. We have another increase, single crochet 1, and single crochet 2. We have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, single crochet 2. Then we have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's single crochet 1, move over, single crochet 2. And then we're going to end with our increase, single crochet in each of the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 4, we have 24 stitches. I'm going to change our stitch marker. For round 5, we're going to continue increasing. So we're going to make an increase in that first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. Here is our first increase. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here is 1, move over, 2, move over, single crochet 3. We're going to make another increase. Then we have a single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's 1, 2, and 3. We have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 3, 2, and 3. We have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 3, and 3. We have another increase, single crochet in the next 3. Here's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to make our last increase, single crochet in the last 3 stitches. At the end of round 5, we have 30 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 6, we are going to make an increase in that first stitch, single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. We are going to start out with our single crochet increase, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Here's 1, move over, here's single crochet 2, single crochet 3, and single crochet 4. Then we're going to repeat the sequence. We have an increase, single crochet in each of the next 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. We have another increase, single crochet in the next 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have another increase. This is our 5th increase out of 6. Single crochet in the next 4. And then we have our last increase, single crochet in the last 4. At the end of round 6, we have 36 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 7, we are going to be doing an invisible decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. And I will show you how to do the invisible decrease. We'll go slow on the first one, and then I'll link my video down below. So you're going to take your hook and place it under the front loop of the first stitch. Go directly under the front loop of the next stitch. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. And that's your invisible decrease. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 4. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to repeat the sequence. So we're going to do an invisible decrease, go under the front loop, yarn over, pulled through, yarn over and pulled through. And then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to do another decrease under the front loop, yarn over, pulled through, yarn over and pulled through. Single crochet in each of the next 4. We're going to repeat the sequence with our invisible decrease into the front loops, yarn over, pulled through, single crochet in each of the next 4. 2, 3, and 4. And then we have another invisible decrease, go under the front loop, yarn over, pulled through, yarn over and pulled through. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 4. And then we're going to complete the last invisible decrease for this round. Just try to get that through there. And then we're going to single crochet in the last 4 stitches. At the end of round 7, we have 30 stitches. Round 8, we're going to make another decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 3. So we're going to start with our decrease, single crochet in each of the next 3. We have 1, move over, single crochet 2, move over, single crochet 3. Then we have another decrease, single crochet in the next 3. We have another decrease, single crochet in the next 3 stitches. We have another decrease, single crochet in the next 3. We have our 5th decrease, 5 out of 6, single crochet in the next 3. And then we have our last decrease, single crochet in the last 3 stitches. At the end of round 8, we have 24 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. From round 9 through 13, we are going to be single crocheting in the next 24. I'm just going to do round 9 with you and show you how I like to mark my stitches just so you can keep track and you don't have to keep counting from round 1. So I'm just going to start out making a few single crochet. I'll do about 3 or 4. And then I'm just going to grab a stitch marker. And if you don't have a stitch marker, you can just grab a bobby pin or a paper clip. Well, paper clips can be hard. I'm trying to think of the other one. Anything that will, even a piece of yarn, just to keep your place. So we're going to continue around 9 with our single crochets. Thank you guys for joining me on this crochet along. I hope you are having a wonderful Halloween season so far. The fall here is amazing. The leaves are just like flying everywhere. It's kind of like you're in this little fairy tale movie because when you're like walking down the street, you're just like walking in leaves falling all around you. It's really cool. My family and I got to go to 2 pumpkin things this past weekend. We went to a pumpkin farm. That is super cute. And then we also went to a pumpkins in the dark, which was like a super fun nighttime activity. So I hope you guys are doing some really fun fall activities. We're at the end of round 9. We're going to change our stitch marker. We're just going to do a few stitches of round 10. And I'm just going to show you how I like to count here. So here is a few single crochet. And then we have round 9 that we marked. We have round 10, we'll do 11, 12, and 13, and then we'll meet back at the end of round 13. I'm finishing up the last few stitches of round 13. We are going to change our stitch marker. We still have 24 stitches. So here we marked 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'm just going to pop this out because I'm going to use that stitch marker again for round 14 because that's where we're going to be placing the eyes later in the pattern. So for round 14, we're going to start increasing again. So we're going to make an increase in the first stitch, 3 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. We'll start by making our increase, single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So we have single crochet 1, move over, single crochet 2, move over, single crochet 3. I'm going to pause here and place my stitch marker in round 14 so I have that marked for later. We're going to make another increase, single crochet in each of the next 3. Sorry, I'm just having like little bits of black I'm trying to get out of here. We have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 3. We have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 3. We have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 3. We have an increase, and then we'll single crochet in the last 3 stitches. At the end of round 14, we have 30 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 15, we are going to make an increase in that first stitch, single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Here is our first increase, single crochet in each of the next 4. Here is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to make another increase, single crochet in each of the next 4. We have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. 2, 3, and 4. We have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 4. We have an increase, single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. And then we have our last increase, single crochet in the last 4 stitches. At the end of round 15, we have 36 stitches. For round 16, we are just going to single crochet all the way around for 36. Last year, I made a pocket reindeer and you guys seem to really like him, so I turned him into a little gift buddy so he can fit some candy or a gift card. And I thought that could be really cute for a teacher's gift or just a neighbor or even a family member because the handmade part is so special and then they can actually put something in it. I'm hoping to get one more Halloween pattern up, but time is ticking here, so that might not happen. But I do have a few Christmas gift buddies. I'm hoping to get those up, my reindeer up quickly in November, and then I'll have the last few before Christmas, so keep an eye out for those. I hope to get them up sooner than later so that everybody has time to make everything. I know we're probably already making Christmas stuff now in October, so because I know I have started to. Okay, we're at the end of round 16. We still have 36 stitches. We're going to start decreasing again. So for round 17, we are going to make a decrease, an invisible decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Here is our first decrease. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 4. We have another decrease, single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. We have another decrease, single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. We have a decrease, single crochet in each of the next 4. We have a decrease, single crochet in the next 4. And then our last decrease, single crochet in the last 4 stitches. At the end of round 17, we have 30 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 18, we are going to make a decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here is our first decrease, single crochet in the next 3 stitches. We have another decrease. Trying to get that up in there. Single crochet in each of the next 3. We have another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. We have another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. Decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. And then we have our final decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. At the end of round 18, we have 24 stitches. For round 19, we are going to be single crocheting into the back loop only. So I'm just going to show you here. We're going to place our hook into this loop here, into our back loop only. And then you have an optional choice of marking your first and your last front loop of the stitch. Because the Chenille yarn is a tiny bit harder to see your stitches, I'm just going to mark the front loop of that first stitch. And this way they'll help with the border for later. So I'm going to mark my front loop, and then I'm going to crochet into my back loops only. And we'll do that in the next 24 stitches. So just place your hook in the back loop. Crocheting in the back loop only was like a really big trend when I started crocheting like 10 years ago. everybody crocheted in the back loop only, but I could never do it. I could do it, but it was so, I did not like it. It felt like it took so much more time and concentration. So when I do crochet in the back loop, I really have to pay attention to what I'm doing. So you'll have to let me know if you were a back loop crocheter, because I know that a lot of us did that. So just continue going all the way around in the back loop only. I'm going to mark the front loop of my last stitch as well, and I'll show you here. I'm going into my back loop of my last stitch. I'm actually going to change my stitch marker first. I'm going to grab that other stitch marker and place it in my front loop, and then I'll put my stitch marker back in. And you'll see later how this kind of helps us out. Here we're going to pause, so if you have another stitch marker or anything that can just hold your working yarn, pop that in there. And we are going to place our safety eyes and our little smile on our cheeks. So we're going to have round 1 facing up. I'm going to grab 14mm safety eyes. You don't have to use 14. If you have something around there, go ahead and grab those. We marked round 14. We are going to place our eyes between round 14 and 15. And if you need to, you can always count up or count down if you didn't mark that stitch. And I just like to see where the back of my stitch markers are so that I can make that the front of my ghost. We are going to leave 4 stitches open. I'm going to place one eye in, and then I'm going to leave 4 stitches open and place the other eye. You can grab the backs. I like to put those on and just do a little shimmy and get it on one of the posts. And then I just like to adjust by kind of turning the eyes a little bit and just making sure that the yarn is underneath the eye. Okay, from here we're going to place a little smile. We're going to place a smile between round 14 and 15 and round 15 and 16. So I'm just going to grab a piece of black embroidery floss. I'm going to grab an embroidery needle. I just put a little knot on the bottom of the yarn. So I'm going to go through these 2 stitches and then I'm going to go down 1. So we're just going to do this little triangle movement here. I'm going to grab a stitch on the inside of the head. I'm going to pull it through my knot. I'm going to pull it through again and go through this stitch or a different stitch until you get a little loop. And then I'm going to go behind the loop with my needle. And this will make a little knot to secure on the inside. So I'm going to go up through a stitch between round 14 and 15. And then I'm going to go down around right in that middle. Then I'm going to go up through round 14 and 15 again. I'm just going to move over a stitch and then pull it back down into the same stitch that I had made. Just going to fluff up this embroidery floss because it does get kind of lost. You can always use a little bit of worsted if you want a thicker smile. And then when I'm happy, I'm just going to grab a piece on the inside of the head because I want to secure the embroidery floss. Just grab anywhere, pull that all the way through, and then get stuck on here. So I'm going to pull through till I get a loop, and then I'm going to go behind the loop with my needle and just secure that floss. I'm going to do this one more time just for extra security. So if you want, you can just stop here, or you can grab a piece of pink worsted weight yarn, or even the pink Chenille if you have it. And I'm just going to add 2 little pieces next to the eyes to make some cute cheeks. So I have a bit of that worsted Chenille. I made a knot on the end. We're going to do that same thing. I'm going to grab a stitch, pull it through to the knot. and then get a loop, go behind the loop, secure that yarn. So I'm going to go up through a stitch between round 15 and 16 right next to the eye. And then I'll go down, and I'm just going to bring the yarn over to the other side and do the same thing. Try not to pull too tight because it will pull all the way on the other side. So just kind of leave it as loose as you can. We are going to attach this or secure the yarn by making a loop and going behind the loop. And I'm just going to do it one more time. You can cut off any extra yarn that you have, and then we are done with that. So we can get set up again with our yarn. We have about 3 rounds to go. If things kind of got tugged up a bit, you can loosen that up with a yarn needle. And we can also fix all this at the end as well. Okay, you can take out that extra stitch marker and we can get set up again. We have 3 rounds to go. I'm going to take out this extra stitch marker for round 14 because we don't need that anymore. You can leave your front loop ones alone. We're going to start round 20 with a decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. So here is our first decrease. Single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Here's 1 and 2. Then we have another decrease. Single crochet in each of the next 2. We have another decrease. Single crochet in the next 2. Decrease. Single crochet in the next 2. Decrease. Single crochet in the next 2. And then we have a decrease. Single crochet in the last 2. At the end of round 20, we have 18 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 21, we have a decrease and then a single crochet. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. So we have our first decrease and then a single crochet. We'll do another decrease, single crochet, and then I'm going to let you count a decrease and then a single crochet and just repeat that until you reach the stitch marker. At the end of round 21, we have 12 stitches. For round 22, we're going to make 6 decreases. Decrease. Then we're going to move over, make another decrease. This is our second one. Here is another decrease. This is our third. Here is our fourth decrease. Our fifth. And then our sixth, our last one. From here, we're going to leave a long tail because we are going to fasten off. To fasten off, we are going to yarn over and pull our yarn all the way through. And then I like to give it a little tug at the end just to kind of tighten up that knot. So I'm going to take out my stitch marker. I'm done with that. You can grab your yarn needle. We are going to close up this hole. I like to find my fastened off piece and then I count backwards. So I have a fastened off bit, stitch 1, stitch 2, stitch 3, 4, 5, and then I have 6 here. And this will be where I start. So I'm going to go down the front loop only with my yarn needle, and I'm going to pull that through. So that's 1, go down the front loop of the next, 2, the front loop of the third. I like to turn the work as I go. So this is the front loop of the fourth, the fifth, and then the sixth stitch. Before we close this, we're just going to keep an eye on that hole. And then I like to use 2 fingers to just kind of pull that tight. Be careful, you don't want to break this yarn. And then once you have it closed, you can place your yarn needle where you think you have that little hole. Sometimes you can kind of still see it, sometimes you can't. So you can just place your needle up through that middle and then kind of weave this up. You can pull a little bit to tighten it and then weave your yarn needle all the way up to the top. So you'll see you have a flat bottom here. Everything's looking good. We can cut out that extra yarn. And I'm just going to pop in the little extra bit. Okay, now we need to crochet on our little ghost border, but this is how we're looking. It's very marshmallowy right now. Okay, to do the border, we are going to have round 1 facing us. So the bottom is going to be up at the top. And then we have our 2 marked stitches. I'm going to start out by making a slip knot, and I have a separate video if you need help with that. I'm going to place the slip knot onto my hook, and then I'm going to find that bottom stitch marker. So that was the front loop that we marked from round 19. I'm going to place my hook up into that loop. I'm going to take out the stitch marker. And from here, I'm going to make a single crochet. So we're going to yarn over and pull that through. Then I'm going to go under that same stitch again and make 2 more single crochet. So here is 1 single crochet, go under the same front loop. This is 2. We're going to move over to the next front loop that we have here. You can kind of see it. You'll probably be able to see it better with your own work. But we're just going to be working under these exposed front loops. We're going to go under that stitch and make a slip stitch. So place your hook under that loop, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. In the next stitch, we're going to make 3 single crochet. So here is single crochet 1, go back under, 2, and 3. Move over for a slip stitch. And then we'll repeat the sequence of 3 single crochet in the same stitch. 2 and 3. Move over for a slip stitch. We're going to make 3 single crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll make a slip stitch. Here is our 3 single crochet. And then move over for a slip stitch. I'm going to let you guys count your single crochets and then your slip stitch because I know it can be a lot of counting and I don't want to throw you off. So I will continue to crochet with you, but I'm just going to let you count in. I will be quiet. We're on our last sequence. Here is a 3 single crochet in the same stitch. And then we'll make a slip stitch in the stitch that has our stitch marker. I'm just going to pop that out. We'll make a slip stitch. And then to end it, I like to make a slip stitch in that first stitch that we made. So I'm going to place my hook under those first loops, 2 loops, and then make a slip stitch. You can leave a long piece of yarn. And then again, we're going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling all the way through and just give that a little tug at the end to tighten it up. We're going to weave in both of these pieces of yarn. So go ahead and grab your yarn needle and then weave that in the best you can. You can cut off your extra bits of yarn. And then from here, all we have to do is make the little cup. In order to make the cup, we're just going to roll that inner piece in and kind of tuck it in as we go. So I'm just going to roll until I hit the bottom round. And I like to go till about round 11. And that leaves us with about 3 rounds above our eyes. And then really just try to smooth all that out on the inside. Even kind of like stretch it out a little bit towards the bottom just to get everything smooth on the inside. So the bottom will lay somewhat flat. You'll have your little border and you can leave it like this. You can add your goodies or we can go ahead and make the bow. For the bow, I'm going to use an E hook, which is a 3.5 millimeter, but if you have an F or a G, that's fine too. I'm going to grab some worsted weight yarn. This is a worsted Chenille yarn. I think it's loops and thread, skinny Chenille. We're going to start out by making a slip knot, and you want to leave a pretty good tail on that. So make sure you have a long tail. You can place your slip knot onto your hook. Make sure you have a long tail. We're going to start out by chaining 3. So we have chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. We are going to make 3 double crochet into that third chain from the hooks. We're going to yarn over, place our hook underneath that top loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to yarn over, we're going to place our hook into that same third chain from the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to yarn over and make another double crochet into that same third chain from the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. From here, we're going to chain 3. We have 1, chain 2, and chain 3. We're going to make a slip stitch into that same chain that we were working into, and it's this hole here. So place your hook through that hole and make a slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 3 again. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then we're still going to make 3 double crochet into that hole. That's still the same chain we were working in. We're going to yarn over, place our hook through that hole, and make our double crochet. We're going to yarn over. This is our second double crochet through that same hole, that same stitch. And then we're going to yarn over and make another double crochet into that same stitch. From here, we're going to chain 3. We have 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to make a slip stitch into that same stitch. I'm just going to tighten up this little bit here on our other tail. I'm just going to tighten that up. And then you can go ahead and leave another long tail and then go ahead and cut that. We need an extra long one just for wrapping. So you can leave it longer than your other one. We're going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling our yarn through. Go ahead and give that a tug to tighten it up. And now we want to go ahead and tighten up that original yarn tail. We're going to have this bow. We want to take one of the yarn tails and go up through the middle about 3 times. And then you're going to take the other yarn tail and go in the opposite direction. So now I'm going to go up and over about 2 or 3 times. And then we're going to meet in the back and make a double knot with our tails. You can go ahead and fan out your bow, and that's it. You're done. So we can go ahead and place this bow on our ghost. I personally like to put it at a little bit of an angle right over the eye. So you can grab your yarn needle, grab one of your tails, and you can go through a stitch or 2 of the head. And then you can grab your other tail and kind of go right up opposite of where you were. I like to make a double knot just to keep that in place, and then you can weave both yarn tails in through your ghost. Cut off the extra bits, and that's it. We are done. So we have our friend here. We're going to pop a little gift card in there. And some candy, of course, because it's Halloween. You cannot not have candy. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please check out yarnsociety.com for more crochet patterns and also for the written pattern for this friend. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. Eat lots of candy and be safe, of course, always. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video.